Hello YouTube, this is Travis Dunn with MDL, and this is my vlog for March 26, 2016. So last week I did the vlog in the car. I had Doc, my son, and James with me. I apologize for the cropping. I didn't realize when I set the camera up that I had apparently zoomed the last time I had used the video mode. And so it didn't get us all in the view, so I apologize for that. I'll have to make sure that I don't do that in the future. So this week on Monday, we're gonna have the furnace and central air replaced. We ended up going with an 80% furnace with 13 SEER central air. Not the furnace I actually wanted to buy. I wanted to get the more efficient one, but money-wise, it just wasn't going to work. We went last weekend, paid off one loan, took out another, just so we could get this done and get this rolling. Because obviously, warmer weather is coming, and I'm really tired of, coming home to a really hot house. So, and we are going to have, they're going to put the humidifier in. And I kind of was back and forth whether or not I was going to do that, but kind of decided to spend a couple $100 and go ahead and do that since I was getting the lower end furnace anyway. I figured it would be a worthwhile investment because frankly I'm kind of tired of shocking everything. And it was funny, even the kids here lately they've been kind of shocking each other. It seems like, just because the humidity's been really weird this past week. So this week I ordered some parts for the bike. I managed to get a new set of risers. I went with a essentially it's a 5.5 inch riser set. It's 4.5 tall, 1 inch back, and did cause a little bit of a clearance issue with the turn signals for going lock to lock. But I did manage to get the handlebars adjusted so that they don't hit the tank. In the process of taking the tins off, because I wanted to plasti dip them, and I mentioned in my last vlog that they didn't turn out the way I wanted, so I peeled all the plasti dip off. But I found out that one of the vacuum lines coming off the we'll call it the fuel, off the fuel tank, is totally just disintegrating. Literally, I touched it and it was like black soot all over my hands, and it wasn't dirt. It was actually the tank the line is just deteriorating, and it's to be expected with an older bike. So I need to go in and order that part, but I am going to try to re-plasti dip it. The tins. I did realize sort of what I did wrong in the way that I sprayed them. So I'm going to try not to make that mistake this time around. I'm going to do it with a black plasti dip base, and then I'm going to do a copper metallicizer. It's basically like a copper metallic, and then do a couple of coats of clear. Not gonna super clear it, but I do want it just a little bit on the shiny side. So I'll kind of talk about that after I get it done. Hopefully this time the paint, the plastic dip will lay right, and I actually have a picture that I'll show now of what that color should basically look like. I saw it in a video and really liked the way it looked. In the future though, I think I'm going to have them powder coated, have the tins powder coated. Obviously, I'm going to have to strip them and see what's underneath, because you can't do Bondo and those type of things when you're doing a powder coat. So I'll have to see what kind of shape those tins are in, and then decide from there whether or not how I'm going to proceed as far as powder coating or paint or whatever I end up doing with that. So still not set on a color. Like I said, I'm going to try this copper for a little while, see how I like it. I'd always talk about how I kind of wanted an 883 iron, just wanted black on black on black. But if I'm going to pay good money, extra money to have something done, I want something a little different, a little more unique. And so we'll see what I come up with. I might do this and for a season, not like it, and decide to go with a different color. But I am on the hunt for both a sissy bar and a windshield, and that has to do a lot with my plans on doing a bit of a road trip. My stepdad's got some vacation time in June, and I think I'm going to try to take a few days, if not that week, off so that I can plan that week to take a road trip. Hopefully the weather holds out. That's my only big worry, is that that'll end up being the week that it does nothing but rain. So, and that's been kind of the problem this week too. It's been kind of chilly on the nice days, and it's been raining. We did have a nice storm front come through the other day, and so I haven't got to ride it. Obviously, I was starting to put it together on Saturday today, but ultimately, like I said, I found out that hose was really badly deteriorated, and I think and that line, I believe, is attached to the carburetor. So it's definitely fuel related, and I want to make sure to get that replaced. I don't want to ride it, so I'm going to end up going to the dealer tomorrow, see if I can either order or, if by some luck, they might have that hose in stock, but I kind of doubt it. And like I said, I'm planning a trip for June. I don't know yet how far we're going to go. A lot of it's going to depend on what me and my stepdad's licensing situation is, whether we get our full endorsement. If we get our full endorsement, we might go out of state. If not, then more than likely we'll do an overnight, down and back type of deal, somewhere, just either just outside the Ohio border, because I'm thinking about going to Hillbilly Hot Dogs in West Virginia. But if not, then we'll figure out something. So last week, obviously from the blog, I went to the Columbus Auto Show. That was a nice show. They had a lot. They were actually taking up more space this year. Had a lot. Pretty much every major brand you can think of was on hand. Obviously, I shot a video. I'll put a link in the description to the SD Project page. And for the most part, I mean, it was what I expected. I didn't kind of expect it. They'd have a Focus RS on display. Unfortunately, it was one of the cars. And most cars, when they bring to the auto show, are unlocked. You can get in and out of them. You can touch them. You can feel them. Certain cars, like the Corvettes, can sometimes be locked. This year, surprisingly, they didn't. Last year, they did. And I think honestly, they got some flack for it. I saw on some forums. For not having those, for touch and feel, because honestly, it's Corvette. It's what they consider an everyman's car. It's not like we're talking about $100,000 car or a prototype. Which honestly, the RS one that was on display was probably still in pre-production prototype. It's not even available to actual purchase yet. But they did have it on display, and you could touch it from the outside. You could see lots of stuff from the interior. Obviously, it had the Recaro seats. My kind of feeling about the car, it looks great. It is probably one of the greatest looking Focuses they have done today. And I've always wanted an RS. And RS has always been a European type model. It's always had features that just weren't available to the American market. And why they never brought these RSs to the market earlier, I have no idea. Obviously, the SVT sold pretty decently, and certainly having a turbocharged model would have been just, I think, an icing on the cake. Probably would have taken away from sales from the SVT, but to be honest, I would think I would rather had an RS versus an SVT anyway. But everybody's touting. There's been some car reviews on it already. Talking about the drift mode, which would be a lot of fun, impractical for a daily driver, but, still be fun probably once in a while to take it and get it loose. But obviously, tear up tires, quit pretty quick on it. But honestly, for me, it's the price tag, $40,000. We're talking V8 Mustang territory, high-end V8 Mustang territory. And I think that's where they kind of lose the feel of what a Focus is. Obviously you can get a base Focus, 15,000, 18,000. You can get an ST Focus for 22 to 27. I think 30, 32 would probably been okay, but $37,000 to $40,000 for a Focus, I think is just a little outlandish. Obviously, the car is going to sell. They've already, you know, I've heard they've had lots of pre-orders already done with several dealerships, but ultimately, I just don't think I don't think it's going to be a super hit. It's going to be a niche car. Obviously, you know, we're, you know, $40,000, $50,000, well, $40,000 for that, you know, another 10 grand, you're in Corvette territory. And like I said, I think it's just a car for a different market, which is why I think long term, I don't think the RS is going to do so well. It should have really just been a little more hopped up version of an ST. You know, the body kit obviously being different, but I think where a lot of that cost happens to be in the drivetrain, the all-wheel drive with the drift mode, which, like I said, is a lot of unnecessary features for the street. So we'll see how well it goes. Like I said, I was kind of impressed the way it looked. I want one, but ultimately I'll never own one. Lots of other cars on display. I was actually kind of surprised to see Scion had a full booth. It had a very large full booth, considering that it was announced probably about a month ago that Toyota was going to end the Scion brand after this year. And we were expecting the FRS, also known as the GT 86, and it's what is the Subaru version? It was a cross-platform car, built on the concept of the original Corolla, or known as the GT 86 platform from the 80s. Also, you know, the famous car from the initial Drift or initial D series. And I've heard that car has sold really well, both in the Subaru and the Scion versions. Why it was never actually a Toyota was kind of beyond me, but I've heard that model is going to transition into the Toyota model, which is when you look at the same car abroad, it is sold as a Toyota GT86. So it will probably be transitioned into the Toyota brand. I can imagine that they'll want to continue selling the car since it sells pretty well from what I understand. They also had a car group there that had a lot of Nissan branded cars. The one that caught my eye though was a RB26 Skyline GTR motor swapped in a Nissan or Datsun 240, depending. I don't remember if it was a Nissan or if it was actual Nissan or Datsun, but essentially they're the same body style. Really, really slick install. It looked almost perfectly factory. Fit tight, but it fit perfect. It did have stock turbos on it. But just still, and I can imagine when you fire that car up, the sound you get from a Skyline is very unique, and unique in the way that a Volkswagen has a unique sound, as a Subaru WRX has a unique sound. It's just it's one of those unique sounds that motor makes. So I really wish we could have heard it run, but obviously, it was in the middle of a convention center. But like I said, overall it was a good show. The video turned out pretty good. I didn't end up doing any real interviews or direct reviews of any cars. Honestly, I hadn't been feeling good. In fact, after the video from that, I literally, well, actually after my last vlog prior to the one from last week, literally 24 hours after, I ended up with a really nasty sinus infection. And it was right after I'd finished my antibiotics for my ear. And I went through 2.5 boxes in like 48 hours of tissues. I mean, it was literally blowing my nose nonstop. So I wasn't really feeling that good coming into that last weekend. And obviously a lot of that's continued. I didn't get a chance. I haven't in the last week or 10 days gone to the gym. That's going to change this week. I am going to go to the gym. Probably going to be on Tuesday though. just because of what's going on. Obviously, Sunday being Easter, we're gonna have Easter dinner, and then Monday I'm gonna have the furnace guy in doing all that. So, gonna be pretty busy. I've got to take apart the laundry room so they can get in and tear the old furnace out. So after the show, after the car show, we all four of us went to probably one of the best pizza places in town. It's known as Fabian's. Everybody pronounces it a little different. I'll leave a link in the description for the website. Let me say, the best pizza in town, and absolutely the only place that has real good, proper Chicago-style deep dish pizza. And, you know, there's always that debate of, you know, New York style or Chicago style, or, you know, everybody has their favorites, Neapolitan or what they consider traditional Italian pizza. But you know, for me, it's all about the toppings. It's about the crust, and it's about the experience of eating a pizza. And certainly Fabian's is just absolutely phenomenal pizza. The crust is just perfect. Their sauce tastes like sauce. You taste tomato. That's what I hate about a lot of you know, chain pizzas, is the sauce is more of a marinara, as they like to call it, and you just don't get a good tomato taste. But man, with Fabian's, that is not an issue. Their cheese is top notch. It melts. It's stringy. It's great. And then obviously the thickness of the pizza just accentuates all that. And I'm a cheese freak. Give me, you know, a bucket of cheese and I'll be happy. The only bad thing is its location. It is north of downtown Columbus. Parking is very difficult. It was better this time than last. Last time we tried to go, simply because they had finally finished a lot of the construction that was going on through the main road. But we managed to get into the side parking lot and actually park. They weren't super busy, which is kind of unusual. Normally, especially on a weekend, that place is just insane. And but Doc has a handicapped placard because of his condition, and so we obviously took that with us so he wouldn't have to walk so far. But that worked out in our benefit. We got one of the handicapped parking spots. We'll manage to you know be real close and get in. And let me say though, their pizza also price wise is really phenomenal. I ordered one pizza. Gonna have to pause for a moment. So as I was talking about with the Fabian's, it is an absolute great deal. I ended up purchasing a total of 2 pizzas and 4 drinks, and it was like $35 for the whole round. So good family value, and like I said, if you can get into the place, it is really awesome place to eat. It's a bar, just so everybody fair warning. You can go in and get drinks just as well. I can't attest for any of their other food. I've only ever had their pizza, but frankly, the pizza is good enough. And as I said last week, I wasn't feeling so good, so like I said, I didn't get a chance to really get to do much. But I did get to do a little bit of yard work. Put some mulch in the front and backyard. I still need about 4 more bags in the front. Need about 3 or 4 more bags in the rear. That just doesn't sound right, does it? But and right now I need to get that done. I need to get the storage buildings cleared out. And so I've got lots of stuff coming up that I'm gonna have to take care of. But for now, that's going to be my vlog. I want to thank everybody for tuning in. I hope everybody has a great day, has a great week, and I will catch you later.